Having the right idea. You know, I've been specifically in the digital marketing space for like 17 or 18 years, and there were a lot of very disparate solutions, and it was always the kind of the end customer's responsibility to try and weld them all together, and it was problematic. So it wasn't really easy to do that. So there's the Sailthru technology kind of walked into a market that's sort of ripe for a bit of disruption. And we're kind of expanding rapidly. I think there's 170 of us worldwide now, which is nearly double what it was when I started. I think we're somewhere in the mid 400s in terms of the number of brands that we serve. In terms of sustaining the growth, it's kind of tricky because for us it's how do we get add the headcount, add the people we need to do the job, and that is one of the most difficult things. If you're trying to grow 100% year on year, I spend an awful lot of my time hiring. So nobody knows you. It's PR is obviously something you've got to worry about. Brand awareness. How do you prove yourself? You may be proven in one market. How do you go about proving yourself in another market? But it's for me at least quite a well understood science, and I think we've been going about it pretty well. It both comes with sort of opportunities and challenges. It's becoming a real kind of hotbed for the kind of ad tech scene. But there's a limited pool of developers. Like if you go to Silicon Valley, you've got an enormous pool. For me here running the European operation, it's lovely having somebody 5 hours out rather than 8 hours out. That makes a huge operational difference, and has certainly helped us as we've scaled things over here. Personally, I love the kind of the feel and the buzz of New York. I love the energy, and I think that really suits the startup culture. I find that in many ways very similar to the London startup feel, the energy of the place. I don't know if there's any secrets. There's people talk about good execution, and you can focus on the sort of numbers and background stuff. But one of the primary things that we place more focus on than anything else is culture. There's a kind of almost a de facto rule in startups, which is like fail fast. If people aren't working out, get rid of them early. I think honestly that's the wrong approach. You've got to hire well. And years ago when I started doing this, I used to hire people almost based on a mental checklist of, do they have experience in this particular area? Do they know these particular topics? What's their background? Are they technical enough? All this kind of thing. I still have the checklist, but somebody can check every single box, and I still wouldn't hire them if I don't think they're a cultural fit. Because the reality is that culture is the most important thing, and we've got to be really, really careful when hiring people that fit into the culture. Those that do thrive and help us grow, but that's really what we've got to place a lot of focus on.